Hi, everybody. Wagner Nolasco here today. I have some very, very important guests here today. I have Anthony and Lucelia from Novarise. Welcome.
Hello, Wagner.
Hello.
Thank you for the invitation.
Hello, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you guys for being here. Today, I am very, very honored. I mean, Lucelia and Anthony, they create this website. They have a YouTube channel, Instagram, and they reach over 16 million lives with the content and the amazing experience that they have acquired in the real estate, but they have created a content that actually touches a lot of hearts and lives. Over 16 million of them, they are real estate investors, and they create content not only for real estate, but teach you how to improve your credit, how to get you ready to purchase your homes. And today we're going to have not a debate, because I don't like to debate, we're just going to talk a little bit between friends about they live in New York City, and I live in Florida, and they're, already invested. Lucelia is invested in Florida, but Anthony is looking for. So we're going to do a little game here on what are the difference between New York and Florida and why are we becoming so popular. So I'm going to start with Lucelia. Tell us a little bit about your company, what you guys have created, and what's your real estate investment experience.
So, hello everybody. Our company, it's Novarise, and basically what we are looking to do is to educate. We were first-time investors. We migrated to the U.S. a couple of years ago, and we know what it's like to start from the very bottom. And while it's excited, it's not. It's painful. So what we look to do is to try to minimize that path to learn. And what we teach, it's in a nutshell, kind of like our journey as real estate investors. So everything from what I had to do to build my credit, how to improve it, how to use it to our advantage, and then how to get that first rental property and start maximizing that portfolio all the way to you reach the number that works best for you. In my case, it was 24, but who says I had to stop there? I'm actually looking for more, and now I've gotten Anthony on board to do that as well.
Yes, so she's an investor. I'm still looking for my property, and I think I found one, and we're about to close that hopefully no longer than the end of this year.
Congratulations.
And I was excited because when coming to Florida, I knew that this was the market that I want to kind of like buy a property in, because if you want to buy in New York, it's too expensive. Like in order to buy a house, you need a couple of $1 million.
Wow.
In order to do that. We wanted to do it in New York, but we wouldn't be cash flowing. And at the end of the day, we want to invest in money. We want to make sure that the money is working for us. And we just don't want to be the ones paying for the house.
Yeah, you have to create assets, not liability. And when you buy a house that is costing over $1 million, you become a slave to it. It's great, but hey, we can't sleep that night that way. Maybe some people can, but we need to know that when we go to bed, rent is due and it's coming into our bank accounts.
The first of the month is my favorite day of the month. Usually it's when rent is due, so that's when cash flow and magic happens. So usually very bright people usually say this, and I keep repeating it because, we try to base ourselves on people that are smarter than us. Live where you want and invest where it makes sense, right? So we want to play a little game here. What is the differences between Florida and New York? So I don't pay any state income tax. Do you guys pay any state income tax in New York?
Painfully, yes.
Painfully.
Wow. Okay. What about municipal taxes? Do you have municipal taxes in New York?
We live right in the middle of New York City, where all the action happens, but also where all the tax get collected. So any tax that you can ever think of goes out of our pocket. And we were talking about this earlier. We are considering moving down here to Florida. We haven't pulled the trigger yet because our family's over there, so we're trying to work out some logistics. But I personally invest in Florida, and I've been investing in Florida since 2018.
Yeah, and Lucelia, just to make a remark, she purchased 24 units in 6 months. So if you think that, you're going too fast or too slow, you haven't met Lucelia yet. Yeah. 24 units in 6 months, that's a record. I mean, that's huge. So another question for you guys. Do you have rent control in New York?
Yes, with some units, not all. The city, at least, is trying to move away from it, but it's going to be a while before that starts happening. And who has the time to wait around when you can just come down to Florida and make it happen?
We have, just for the record, no rent control in the state of Florida. Bing, 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 bing. So one question for you guys is, are you guys landlord friendly or tenant friendly in New York?
They're actually tenant friendly up there.
Landlord friendly, bing, 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 bing. So what is that difference, right? Why does it make a difference? Who has more rights on that property after staying a minimum period of time? Does the owner, which is the landlord, or the tenant? In New York City, once that person moves into your property, it's really hard for you to evict them as long as they pay their rent, meaning they are tenant friendly, not landlord friendly. So a lot of advantages from the state of Florida. Of course, New York is a beautiful city. It's a heart, it's where Statue of Liberty is, Broadway, Wall Street, all this amazing stuff. But what about after COVID? What are the changes you guys saw after COVID in New York City? We hear a lot about it, but we haven't talked to people that actually live there. What have you guys felt to be different prior and post COVID in New York?
I mean, some of the points of view that I can see as a tourist, when before COVID, everything was booming, a lot of people was going there. After COVID, there is a lot of homelessness in New York City, especially in the area of Times Square. If you go there, you will not recognize Times Square. And so that's something sad that has happened over there. Something also that I wanted to say, like the rents have increased in New York City. So one of the reasons why we haven't moved anywhere else is because we're already locked in a rent at a certain price. And that's basically post and after COVID. So right now, if you want to move to New York, like housing prices keep increasing, but at the same time, the rents keep increasing as well.
Wow. So that's good news actually for landlords in New York that your rent is going up. I mean, price of property is increasing and also rents. Same here in Florida. So, the price of property, price of construction is going up. Materials are hard to obtain. We are in August of 2021, and you see that right after COVID, we still have some cases, but Florida is pretty much all open. Disney is open, Universal is open, all the restaurants are open. I mean, a lot of the population here has been vaccinated, over 50%, but still, we still have long ways to go, but we're pretty much open. It's life as normal as it would be from now on. But, great differences from New York to Florida. I wanted to ask you a little bit more about your company as well. I started this podcast and this video on YouTube, if you're watching us, telling that Novarise has touched over 16 million lives with your content and your information that you're willing to share. A lot of times at no cost, and you guys have a coaching as well. Can you tell me a little bit about Novarise and what drove you to do this? What actually is the passion behind it? What is your ultimate goal? How many lives do you want to touch?
I will say that's more for you. You have an actual number in mind. Me, it's as many people as possible, as many lives as we can change. The more we change families and people's life in general for the better, we do overall create a much better world together. Now, he's the one that has a goal set, and I'll let you do it because it's unfair if I take it away from him.
Okay, so in terms of subscribers, right, how can we track how many people we're actually helping? So the views are good, so we will have reached about 16 million lives, and it keeps increasing. But the metric that we're going to use to kind of like see how many people we have changed is subscribers. How many subscribers? We're gonna get at least 1 million subscribers. I know we're still short. We still feel like we can go for more, but we want to keep quality. Sometimes quality means that we're not gonna get as many views because we're not being like the news, right? That they have a hot headline that talks about tragic. We actually want to educate, because if we want to get more views, we can just put something about the stimulus checks, something that is getting views nowadays, but we decided to keep it more educational. So now, in terms of billions, I think we want to get, and this is something that we see happening probably in a couple of years, because slow growth, we're still growing. I would say 1 billion people we want to reach.
Wow. 1 billion people not only learning about on how to invest, on creating financial freedom, as well as looking for a retirement opportunity, because a lot of Americans that I know personally, they don't know how to retire. They work years and years and years, and they deposit their money into deferred benefits plans, into 401k, Roth IRAs, and they're just stuck. And by the time that they retire, they don't have enough money to live. I have based my life really simply. I have no stocks, I have no bonds, I have houses. That's what does it for me, right? Cash flow, rent. People need basic things in life. And we work for the base of the pyramid. What are those? Food, you got to eat every day, right, to survive. You're going to get sick. So my wife is a physician. And you're going to have to live somewhere. I build houses that are entry level for rent. So, guys, the basic principles of life is where your money is going to be made. Cash flow is king. First of the month is the happiest day. I can be in Vegas, New York, or Paris. It's always going to be the first of the month, maybe a few hours ahead or behind, but their rent is going to be due. So cash flow is king. Look for markets where you feel comfortable. I'm very proud to be in Florida, and we're here by pure luck. We didn't know this market was going to be this hot, but we are in one of the best markets and the number one in migration states in the whole country. People are coming from California, New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, from all over the place just to live a little bit better, a little bit less expensive with better quality of life and weather. So thank you, Lucelia. Thank you, Anthony, for being here today. Do you have any final remarks you want to leave to our listeners today?
On my end is that if you see something, like for example, right now we know that the Florida market is very hot. Texas is a good area to invest. Take action. Like you already have a lot of content online that you can search through. You can know you can know what's a HELOC, how can you use that money to invest in different properties. In our channel, we teach a lot about how to invest with credit cards. So you already have the tools, and you just need to use it and take action.
Yes, and to add to that, stop making excuses to leave what you can do today until tomorrow. There's no better time like today. And if you leave it for tomorrow, someone else is going to take that opportunity away from you. And with what we're doing, what Wagner is doing, what Nova Rice is doing, you have no excuse. The information is readily available for you. It's up to you to choose to test it, verify it, and see if it works out. And if it doesn't happen. It doesn't matter. But at least you're more educated than the person you were an hour ago.
Thank you so much, Lucille and Anthony. If you wanted to reach out to Nova Rise, you're going to see their link into the bottom of our video here in the description. Just give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to Nova Rise. They're amazing people. I have vetted their content. I have watched their videos. They are simply amazing. Thank you guys so much. Have a safe trip to New York, and hopefully you'll be moving here near us in Florida.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
See
Take
ya.
care.